we are on, sorry, this is going to be an extreme close-up, but we are on page 22, and we are talking about area of triangles. And all right, first I want to talk about finding the area of a triangle, the basic formula. The basic formula for an area of a triangle, and I'm lazy, so I'm just going to draw a triangle, is written a couple of different ways. So in some times, in some places, you will see area equals 1/2 base times height, and it'll be written just like that, all next to each other. Because remember that when things are next to each other, that means multiplication. So when we talked about that in the algebra unit, I was getting you ready for this. Next to each other means multiply. Okay, the other way we sometimes see this written is that area equals base times height divided by 2. And when they're on top of each other, that means divide. And you might be wondering, how can the formula be two different things? Well, remember in the fraction unit, when we said that we can multiply or we can divide a number or we can multiply by its reciprocal, here we have that in real life. We can either divide by 2 or multiply by the reciprocal of 2. The reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. So these both will get you to the same answer. And you'll see them written different times, different places. This is why. Okay, so then let's talk about what that means. I'm going to pull out another handy dandy sticky note. And let's say that the area of this sticky note is 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters. I have no idea if that's what it is. I'm just guessing and estimating. Okay, so the area of this, and I'm going to trace my sticky note. So even if you don't have a sticky note, you can just be drawing what I'm tracing. The area of the black square is to do 8 times 8 equals 64 square centimeters. Okay? If I take this square and I make it a triangle, I'm going to cut it in half like that. Now it's a triangle. And so the area of the red part is to do the 8 times 8, because this is still 8 times 8, but we don't want 8 times 8. We want half of 8 times 8. So we can either do 1/2 times 8 times 8. 1/2 times 8 is 4. 4 times 8 is 32 square centimeters. Or I can say 8 times 8 was 64. 64 divided by 2 is 32. Either way, I get my area. Okay? So that's the area of a triangle, the formula for it, and here's why it works. This part, I'm guessing, so far you're like, okay, I feel decent about that. Let's try an example down here at the bottom that I'll just draw for you. So if you had a triangle like this, let's say this is 3 inches and this is 14 inches, and they tell you that this one over here is 17 inches. You only need 2 of those numbers, right? You need the base, which is this guy, and you need the height. Remember what I said about the height last time? The height is always at a 90-degree angle to the base. So this is the height. So to find the area of that triangle, you do base times height, and then divide it by 2, Or you could take 1/2 of one of these numbers and then multiply it by the other one. So you go ahead and take a second, pause the video, and try to solve that. Okay. So in this case, I would say area equals 1/2 times 3 times 14. Commutative property of multiplication, I can move numbers around. So I'm going to do 1/2 times 14 times 3. I'm doing that because this is an even number, so it's easier to cut in half. So 1/2 times 14 is 7. 7 times 3 is 21 inches squared, or 21 square inches. They mean the same thing. Okay? If you solved it another way, you still should have gotten to 21 inches squared. Okay. So this will wrap up our first video.